Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
Yes, it's the select board meeting to order at 6:30, at 5:30 on February 1st, on a Monday. Since we have a very unusual situation here where we had nobody signed up, and Sue Allen and Susie Welsh have signed up, they're the only ones. And since we have a open position, Sue Allen, I guess, won the lottery, and she's decided for the next couple of weeks. So we need to fill her position. So will somebody make a motion, I guess? Is that what we need to do, Bill?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will make a motion that Sue Allen fill the empty or the vacancy on the select board until 2021 town meeting.
Second.
Okay. Do we have any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So we need a motion to recess the meeting to the BCA. Somebody want to make that motion to recess it?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Chris, take it over.
Thank you, Joe. I've got 5:32. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. I'll ask the clerk to note for the record that the meeting was duly warned. We do have a quorum present. We'll get right down to business. And the first order of business on the agenda is to designate the polling place for the annual town meeting on March 2nd, 2021. And we have proposed the brick meeting house as we did for the November general election. And the polling hours would be 9 to 7. I will entertain a motion to designate the brick meeting house as a polling station with those hours specified.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Motion
I
from
second it.
Stanmack, second from Pam Spurlock. Is there
Who
any
made the mo-
discussion?
Excuse me, sorry, Chris, who made the motion?
Stanmack?
Stan?
Yep.
And Pam second? Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh,
Any
Kim,
discussion?
you're doing these minutes, Kim?
Yes, I do the BCA minutes.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
I'm just gonna need your list of attendance if that's okay.
I got that.
Okay. Sorry, Chris.
Okay. Is there any discussion on the designating the brick meeting house as our polling location for town meeting on the 2nd of March? If there is no discussion, I will then call for a vote. All those in favor of designating the brick meeting house as the polling place from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on town meeting day, March 2nd, 2021, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried unanimously. Next order of business, we're going to be, each election we have to elect a pair of JPs to deliver ballots to ill or physically disabled voters. Kim, just for the record, everyone is being mailed a ballot, is that correct?
Yes, every active registered voter. So if
Okay,
you're challenged, you will not be receiving one.
okay. And the reason we're doing the this item, is it a statutory requirement or?
It is not statutory, it is a choice of the select board. The legislator gave the decision up to the select boards.
Okay,
And with my recommendation and knowing how smoothly that it went for the general election opposed to the primary, I kind of made the motion and asked for it to happen for this election also.
okay. I know I'm available. Is there any, well, Pam?
Sam did say if you would like him also, he would be willing to also do deliveries like he usually does.
Okay, that would work out great. I would be available most of the time as well. What is the window for that, Kim?
You can deliver until the day before,
Okay,
which would be Monday, the 1st
okay.
of March. But there shouldn't have to, I mean, we really shouldn't end up having to deliver any since I'm going to be mailing them to everyone. But if someone happens to have burnt it, thrown it away, misplaced it, and they are a shut-in, then you would have to deliver one with an affidavit.
Sure. Okay, that said then, Pam, unless you're itching, to do it, I entertain a motion to have Sam Badalino and Chris Wallace as JPs to deliver the ballots to disabled voters.
So move.
Motion by Joe,
Second.
second by Pam. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor of designating Sam and Chris as the JPs to deliver ballots to the ill or physically disabled, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. Next order of business is to appoint the Assistant Election Officer. Again, Michelle Dolliff would be that individual. Do I have a motion to nominate Michelle Dolliff as the Assistant Election Officer?
I motion to elect Michelle Dolliff as the Assistant Election Officer.
Okay, motion by Pam Spurlock. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a couple of seconds. Was that
John?
John Gregory? Thank you, John. Any discussion? If there is no discussion, then call for a vote. All those in favor of appointing Michelle Dolliff as Assistant Election Officer, please vote by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The motion is carried unanimously. The next order of business is to set the dates and times for depositing early ballots. This is something that, is this just JPs, Kim?
Yes, typically they like the JPs to do this.
Okay. These would just be a matter of physically processing the envelopes that get mailed in to the town offices or dropped in the mailbox in the slot in the door. And it, we have two-man integrity throughout, and they are deposited into a sealed ballot box and then stored in the vault and until election day. The proposed dates are Thursday, February 18th, Tuesday, February 23rd, Friday, February 26th, and Monday, March 1st, 10 o'clock time for each of those dates.
I did hear from Wendy, and Wendy can do Tuesdays and Fridays, but cannot do Thursdays or Mondays.
I can do Thursday, February 18th, because that's during our winter break, and that would work great with my school schedule.
Super. Thank you, Pam. I should be able to do all of those dates, Kim, at the 10 o'clock hour.
Okay, so you'll cover for every one of those then. So
Yes.
we would still need another person for Monday the 1st.
Correct. So we could check with Sam or David, and between the two of them, I think we should be able to have that covered.
Okay, I think David is on. And also, Chris, remember towards the end of the general election, we had 3 people, and
Yes.
that worked fairly well with someone opening, someone checking off, and then we've got 5 ballot boxes. That 5 ballots will have to be put in, so even if we had 3, that would work great, and we have a big enough office to be able to separate.
Right. Yeah, the 3 is definitely the optimal number.
Yeah.
Welcome, David.
Is David on?
Yeah, David, can you hear us?
Turn your microphone on, Dave.
Are you?
There you go. Nope, you just turned it off again. No, you're still off.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I can hear.
Okay, well, welcome, David.
Thank you.
So I would, if those dates are acceptable, I would entertain a motion to set the dates of February 18th, 23rd, 26th, and March 1st at 10 a.m. for early deposit of ballots. Do I have a motion?
I motion.
Motion Pam Spurlock. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Stan.
No, John.
John,
John. Oh, excuse me. Thank you, John. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Next order of business is to designate the ballot clerks. Kim, do you have a list of the clerks?
I do. My list consists of Deb Plummer, Michelle Dolliff, Heather Gregory, Pat Mack, Wendy Martin, and Mary Ann Kearns, and myself, and there will probably be one more to be determined. I have not yet decided. I know last time I had 5 people, and for each shift, I do 2 shifts. And with the ballots coming in by mail like they had been, it was a very long, quiet day for the general. So I may not be in need of that 5th person, so that's going to be undetermined.
Okay, thank you, Kim.
Yep.
Do I have a motion to accept the list of ballot clerks as proposed by the town clerk?
so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the town clerk's recommended list of ballot clerks vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. Next order of business, to designate the ballot counters. And this will be for counting ballots on as soon as the polls close at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, March 2nd.
So okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say typically it consists of this board, the BCA, the selectmen, and the justice of the peace, with usually a couple of reinforcements. Kim, do you want to speak to that?
The reinforcements would be someone outside of the Board of Civil Authority. So I would need the Board of Civil Authority's approval to allow Bill Kearns, Mary Ann Kearns, and Pat Mack to join the BCA in counting of the ballots. And I will probably recruit one more person to keep it an even number. So if I could have the approval of Pat Mack, Bill Kearns, and Mary Ann Kearns.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I motion.
Pam Spurlock. Do I have a second?
Second.
Stan got me first. Go ahead, Stan.
It was John.
Stan got him. Well, John, somebody did.
I think it was John.
Okay. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving Bill and Mary Ann Kearns and Pat Mack as additional ballot counters when the polls close at 7 p.m. on March 2nd, vote by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The motion is carried, and this will be in person at the Brick Meeting House, correct, Kim?
Yes.
And Kim, I'm available, so you can put me on as a go. Okay.
Yes, please let me know as soon as possible if there is a BCA member that's not able to attend. Then I can find coverage.
Okay. And that was the last order of business for this body. Is there any other business before the Board of Civil Authority? If not, I just want to again extend a welcome to Sue Allen, Pam Spurlock, and David Woodall. Welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Motion Pam Spurlock, second.
Second.
Stan Mack, second. There's no other business. All those in favor of adjourning, vote by saying aye.
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 I have 5:42. The meeting of BCA Town of Grafton is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
You know,
Anybody would like to sit and listen to us, you're welcome to. Okay, so we can reconvene the meeting. The first order of business will be to adopt the agenda. Somebody make a motion to adopt it.
I move that we adopt the agenda.
Okay, second?
second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor of adopting the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, agenda is adopted. The next order of business, we have the approval of the minutes of January 19th. Do we have any additions or corrections?
I've just got one correction on paragraph 3, third sentence down, accounting standards. Maybe it should be of government. I'm not sure at government what it says.
Well, it shouldn't be at, it should be of, I guess.
That would be my thought.
Okay. Does that work for everybody? Bill, you there?
I am.
Is the of okay?
Say again?
Is of okay? Instead of
You
at?
know, I had it here and I clicked on it and now it disappeared. Just a second. Let me get it back.
It's a radio in the background.
Okay. The third line now, give me the sentence again.
It's generally accepted accounting standards. It says add, but Stan says you should say of government standards.
I don't know where you are. Say again.
It's the third line down on number 3.
Oh, third line now.
Generally accepted accounting standards add, and it should be of, I think.
And, A-N-D.
Oh, and. Oh, okay. All right.
Accounting standards and government standards.
Okay. Stan, are there any others?
No.
Well, if there are not, somebody make a motion to accept the amended minutes of January 19th.
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
And Sue Allen, you have to abstain on this one because you weren't here for the meeting. So,
Okay.
so if there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So we have 3, 2, 4, no, Kathy's not here, so we have 3 yeses,
3-0.
1 abstention.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. The warrants were there. I guess everybody signed them. So that taking care of that. Is Danny's not on, huh?
No.
Don't see
Okay,
him.
so is there anything on the highway that we need to discuss? Bill, have you talked to Danny? Anybody talk to Danny?
No, there's, looks like the truck will be here soon, but they keep finding little things that they haven't finished on that dump truck. I'm sure that they're going to be out plowing, and that's why Danny's not here. And we are going to work on that Homeland Security grant we're going to include the highway garage and some sort of security cameras or something like that. But we're going to discuss that next month, so I wouldn't worry about it right now.
Does anybody know about the status of the little pickup that had the accident?
That one is the check has gone to Jasmine, so it should be under repair.
Okay.
From the insurance company. It has gone.
There's no time frame on getting it back.
I haven't heard any, John.
Danny said middle of February.
The last time John McDaniel said they were having a parts situation, availability. So I don't know what that means. But okay. Anything else on the highways? Okay. Kim, you're up. Are you still here, Kim?
I'm here.
Okay.
I don't have much to add other than let everybody know that town reports are available out on the porch of the town office. I will keep supply there. I'm asking one per family if at all possible. If you need to have more, that's fine. I did order enough that we should be all set. I'm hoping I get a really good turnout by people taking the town report, since some of them may not have much to do and would like to just have some reading material. The tax bills are, our third quarter tax payment is due Monday, February 15th. As a reminder. A reminder that dog licenses are due by April 1st to avoid a late fee. We waived all late fees last year. I'm hoping we don't have to waive late fees this year, and everybody can mail in their check for their dog, and I will mail them their license along with their tag. If they have any questions, they can give me a call on whether it's pricing or whether or not their dog has been vaccinated and up to date.
Kim, what's that due date again?
April 1st is the due date.
April 1st.
Before April 1st. Anything after April 1st would be considered late.
Hey, Kim, the comments that we added to the articles, they're not in the town report, right?
No, not in the town report. That would just be for the informational meeting in the Grafton News. The
Okay.
town report's strictly just the warning that we send out and you signed off on.
Okay.
I sent out the balance sheet and the expenditure sheet. I didn't bother to send you guys the revenue. I mean, it is what it is. The money comes in whenever we get to it. If you have any questions on the expenditures, I can try and answer the little bit I can right now from home. Otherwise, I can do it from work, and I can research it better by going back through each account that you may have a question on. Yeah,
I can put them on the screen too if you want them.
No, I probably don't need to, because it's
No.
like it's 6 pages for the expenditure.
Yep.
And that's all I have to add. I want to thank everybody for bearing with me not being in the office for the last 10 days. I had some really good helps, a lot of backup, and everybody just kind of chipped in, and I ended up going back into work, and went very smooth. I didn't have a huge stack of work to go through. I thank Cynthia and Michelle, Bill. Select board was great, so thanks for making the whole experience doable. It was an experience.
It's very nice to have you back. I went in there this morning to see you back. It's like old times again. So
It's nice. It's nice to get back to normal again.
if there's nothing else for Kim, number 7, we put this on the agenda for the Village Park. Alan so graciously volunteered to shepherd this thing through, and we never really had a formal motion to accept it and whatever. So it's on there for discussion. And Alan, do you want to talk about this?
Can you hear me okay?
Sure.
Okay. I have finally got a new computer, so I'm not working off my phone, so I guess everything's working.
It is.
So I just wanted to make sure that folks knew, although I had resigned from the select board, I was still available and interested to try to finish up or make progress on the Village Park. I signed a volunteer statement last year, and my friend from Forest and Parks, the recreation forester Rick White, signed one as well. We would sign a new one for this year, but would do the same process. So once the weather breaks, we would go through with chainsaw and cut hazard trees and move material, or cut up material that needs to be removed from the trails that comes down this winter, as we did last year. If the timber sale proceeds, there may be some chainsaw work that's involved tidying up there too. I have a couple folks that are interested to volunteer, they would have to sign waivers, obviously. So there's kind of the maintenance part of it, which I would just consider that to be ongoing. Then I look at the other part of it is improvements. I've found a source for the signs. I told you I could make the signs. I have the wood, but making the signs, painting them, routering is my issue. And so I checked with Forest and Parks to see if I could go use a shop or have the sign made up and ask them to do the routering. Turns out every district used to have a sign shop, and now they're contracting that work with the prison industries. And so I've contacted that individual. It's done up in the Newport facility. He sent me a bunch of signs as examples. I had an old sign that used to be Grafton State Forest as an example. I sent them to Bill, but unfortunately I was a little late doing that, so he may not have them to display. But the important take home is that now they have moved away from making the signs out of wood. The wooden ones are nice, but they require extra maintenance. The procedure they're using now is a thick piece of plastic, and you can get a different surface, green, brown, whatever surface color you want. And sandwiched in the middle is a different color, like white or yellow. And then they route you send them what you want with a image. They put that into the computer, and then it's all done computer navigated. Yes, there's a good example. So that one's the old wording, and I would have him change that obviously to Grafton Village Park. And I prefer the green and white, but it's really not my decision now. It'll be up to you folks to decide. I think the green and white sign looks better. But that part would be plastic, and they're maintenance free. Once they're created, they're extremely durable. They don't fade from the sun. And then I would build a border around that of like 6x6 pressure treated. So that would be the entry sign. I sent you folks earlier, and I'm still transferring stuff from one computer to another. So, but they also at the prison industries do signs where it's almost like a silk screening, but it's done onto aluminum, and that's what the forestry folks are using now at their trailheads of all the hiking areas. And same idea, you figure out what you want on there. It's all put into a computer image, and then they kind of silk screen it onto the metal, and would build a kiosk to hold that, and that would be in the parking area. And that would be a map of the area, show people where the red trail is, where the blue trail, the yellow trail, etc. So that would get them oriented. I hope to have one of those little symbols which they would put their phone on, and they take a picture of that symbol, put it on their phone, and then that would give them the map on their phone, and they can follow it on their phone where they are if they want to. That would also include some more work, what was done in the timber sale, so that the logging roads that are created, they could also be additional hiking trails. I'm working with the person that replaced my friend Rick White. He's a recreational forester, and he's going to help me produce the image that we would need and work with me, making recommendations from a recreational forester standpoint. So I do know, I suggested that grant from the state highway AOT that would be looked into to see if we could do some surfacing, something like SurePack, to make a portion, not every place, but over towards where the old picnic area was, and where hopefully at some time we build a lean-to. That would be not classified handicap, but appropriate for most people. So older grandparents could take their kids, grandkids in there, that sort of thing. If that grant came through, that would be a project that I think Brian Rinford, the forester, the recreational forester, would work with us on that. So my idea as a volunteer, other than the maintenance, the chainsaw maintenance part, which is straightforward, but everything else, I would do the gathering of information, but I'm not going to go do something until I show you, like the sign. I'm not going to order a sign until you say, we want the green one, we want the white one, we want the brown one, whatever you decide, and what the cost is, and of course. So I do the legwork, but you're going to make the final decisions. That's how I see it working.
Yeah, Alan, I think you make the proposal for us, and you know, and what your thoughts are, and what you recommend, and then the board will discuss that.
Right. So I spent some time as a board member talking to some, I don't know, there must have been 8 different people on the committee. We met twice and got different user groups some ideas. So if everything we do, we have to have a public meeting, you're never going to agree on it, because somebody's not going to want something, somebody's going to want more of this. So I think I have some thoughts from other people besides myself, my friend Rick, and I'm just going to make some recommendations to you folks, and we'll move along with it. So that I look at the town's input is going to be your approval, the select board's approval. And of course, that's going to change. The select board's going to change come town meeting, so it'll be different input.
Well, it's only going to change by one. You have the four members here are going to be here. I mean, unless something drastic happens against Sue Allen and a major write-in campaign comes in, but
I think the appropriate way, unless it's changed, is Sue Allen is now appointed until town meeting.
Yes.
Right, but she would have to get elected again, which I see no reason she shouldn't.
Of course, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's
but anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
But I see the select board as the opportunity for public to input in what's going on, and if people see it on the agenda that something's being discussed, they can participate in the meeting that way. So I don't see it as excluding the community. They just need to participate through the select board.
Now, Alan, would you like some kind of a motion from the board indicating that you would be the lead on the park, or in the minutes enough for you? How would you? Well, we want to make you feel comfortable so that you can continue with your endeavors.
I think probably the cleanest way to do it is, do a motion, and I'm sure Bill's going to record some of this discussion that's taking place tonight and document what we've talked about and what we've agreed to. So I think a motion's the cleanest way.
Bill?
Yep.
How would you recommend that you and I talked about it, and I don't remember exactly this morning, but how would you see the motion?
Well, first of all, there would be a motion to allow him to proceed, provided that he and his volunteers sign those volunteer waivers, and that with the idea that they will be working there now doing trails and the hazard trees. Then after the logging, when the logging starts, and then after it's done, they will then do some of the cleanup on that. And with regard to the signs and the kiosks, that he get figures together and get back to you on design and on cost.
Is that okay?
Is that enough, Al?
Well, I think so. I just think if trail maintenance could be an annual event, and then improvements are things that get approved by the select board.
That's correct. I missed saying that because I forgot about it. But yeah, he's offering to do trail maintenance as an ongoing thing with the volunteers. Correct, Al?
Some point I'll be too old, but yes.
You got a long way to go.
All right. Do we have somebody want to approve that? Make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion, Joe.
Okay. And we need a second.
Second.
Okay. Stan got you first, so Stan seconds. Do we have any other discussion on the motion? If not, if there's no further discussion, all in favor of the motion, letting Al do trail maintenance, come with a proposal for the signs, and continue working at the park under and reporting to the select board. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Kathy, you came in late.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So
I had problems with my computer and my printing all my stuff out, which I had done, and I went to get it and it was all blank. So sorry.
Nothing's really happened. We did appoint Sue Allen.
Yeah, I knew about that.
Then they had the BCA meeting, and I don't know, Chris, do you need to update her or anything at all about it, or you feel that?
It went as per the agenda. There are no changes. So if you just follow the BCA agenda, there should be no surprises. There's no deviance from that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Kathy, you're on now on this V-Trans grant.
I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. I looked at it today more in depth. I think it's a doable thing. The only problem is the grant is due, I think, the 19th of February. Looking at what they're requiring, I think we can do it. It's just a time factor at this point. And my suggestion would be to, if there's another select board person, maybe get a small committee together and really dive into it. Maybe have a Zoom meeting. I don't know. I guess I want your thoughts.
Kathy, what was the town's expense? 50%?
Yeah. And some of that 50% can be volunteer time, like using town equipment, volunteers to help, which would be part of the, put towards that cost. It's getting some figures together to see what the cost is going to be to have a pathway going from the store either to the village park or going to Grafton Ponds.
Kathy, is there any kind of specifications? Are they looking for a paved path or a gravel or stone, or, that makes a lot of difference in cost.
Well, they do talk about signage and lights, and if you're using, if it's going to be tar, I don't see tar. I see just a natural path that's safe and it's marked appropriately. With signs too, you know, going towards connecting to a bike trail at the ponds or going up to, I mean, from the school to the village park. That's where Bob Culver would come and, you know, really look at it and kind of scope it out. There's going to be a lot to put this thing together for if we go with this, and they're looking at anytime from May until August, September for construction.
Well, to be very honest, Kathy, I mean, it's the first today, and what is it, the 15th is the deadline?
19.
19th, that's a lot of work to put this thing together. I don't know if it's possible. I mean, I think it's a great idea, I just don't know.
No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you, but it would be nice to have something going from, say, the school to the ponds or the school to the village park. Because there's a lot of people that come into town, our visitors, they don't know what to do. And oftentimes they'll go to the store and ask, or they, you know, they don't know. So if we have some better communications to point out what's going on in the village for folks, we can use those trails and open up the ponds more. That's my thought. I know, Chris, you're shaking your head there. Thoughts?
Chris, your microphone.
No, I would agree with what she's saying. And Kathy, just to be clear, are we talking about the existing trails, just adding signage to them?
That would be very helpful, but this is really this would be a new trail to go to Grafton Ponds. You know, they go down to the back of the school.
Yes.
Okay, if you look at that, there could be some improvement there to that road, or have a pathway that goes right towards the other, connects to the other pathways. You can do that as long as part of that is new. So if it was coming from the store, I don't know what they're using for the store when they, you know, where the tennis courts are. Is there a pathway there?
There's a pathway from the where you drive behind the store. You follow that driveway on. It goes all the way past the greenhouse. Correct. Then you take the road over to the school, and then you go down the hill and go right across the bridge, and then there's a path all the way to the ponds that is rough right now.
Is that marked?
No.
The first part is.
Oh.
Well, it is. There is a path there.
Yeah, but it's not really signage properly, I don't think.
Well, if you come in from, what's the name of the little house over here across from the parking lot? If you go in that way, it's marked. If you come in from the tavern, go across the street and come in that way, you go through that stone wall. That part's marked.
Oh.
There's a what do you call it? A thing for the Turner Hill on there.
There is room for improvement, though. It's not as tourist friendly as it could be. The signage.
Yeah, there is plenty of room for improvement. Yeah.
But Kathy, was that sufficient? Is it a new, or is it improvement in the grant?
It can be both, but you cannot use an existing trail and improve that. I mean, from what I read, but it could be new, or it can be improve what you have now, but you can't have an existing trail and improve that. I know it doesn't make sense, but
doesn't make sense. But
what's available for matching funds though? We have to still match funds on this thing,
right? I don't know what's out. I don't know what you have.
Where that funds come from? It has to come from town somewhere, right?
Well, I can tell you where there is some money if you listen to our auditor. Some of the surplus money could be used for that if the board so desired. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much we're talking about money-wise anyway. I mean, are we talking,
Yeah.
$5,000 or are we talking, $20,000? I have no idea.
I think the maximum 75,000.
No, but I mean, what would the town share be?
After that,
If the
I don't
project costs 20 grand, then town's got to come up with 10.
Right.
right.
Well, Kathy, maybe we should give it a thought, and if you can find some volunteers and somebody who maybe the Nature Museum, somebody wants to help work with this, or the ponds, if we can put something together, we can do it. But,
Well, I do have, Bob Culver said that he would help. I did talk to Lori Donforth, and they're not interested at this point, because they want a handicap accessibility, trail that they're working on. So that it wouldn't qualify for what this grant is. So I do have Bob Culver. I could talk to him and see what he has in mind. Or even looking at where the store is and going to, say, Grafton Ponds. Because I know there's going to be improvements in back of the school for the kids to access that area.
but where would the new trail be? Because you have to have a new trail.
It would be, say, from the store to the school to the ponds, using that roadway, improving that area with a marked. I want to call. I don't know if I want to call it a trail. It would have to be a pathway that would follow the guidelines of the grant.
But you'd have to get permission from the landowners, wouldn't you, too?
Yep.
Sounds like a really short time frame here you got like 2
No.
weeks to get this thing done.
Yeah, I wish we had learned about this earlier, but we can look at it, and if it's not this year, it could be next year. If they
Okay,
have.
well, give it some thought, Kathy, and if some miracle or something happens and we can do that, just let us know, or let Bill know, and we'll see what we have to, see what we can do here.
If I remember right, Kathy, and I haven't looked at it for a couple of weeks, but that application form was really straightforward. You know how much you're going to spend, and you have to get that match. It isn't like the Homeland Security grant where it's a federal grant. You have to prove all the stuff that
Right.
you meet all the requirements. There's like 30 different things. This
Yeah.
one is just pretty straightforward.
They were also suggesting the planning commission could help too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Yeah.
pointed out in this grant.
Well, that's part of their job, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe you should contact Dave Culver and see if maybe he or some of the other planning members might be interested to help you to get this thing off the ground.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
Okay.
Thanks.
Alrighty. Yes.
Joe, can I comment?
Sure. Go ahead.
If the grant that Kathy's been talking about is the same one that I saw and commented on, I didn't read it all cover to cover, but the part I did read sounds like handicap types of trails are something that they would be receptive to. And that's why I thought building a trail or improving a trail from the parking area and going over to where the picnic area was, which is where I hope the lean-to would be, upgrading that to the point where it's, I don't know if I'd really say handicap, but good for most people. We have some money set in our account there now, and if the logging takes place, there'll be some other money that could be the grant. So, and the town owns all of it, so we don't have to go get permission from multiple landowners. It's all sort of in-house, so to speak. So that's why I thought that was something that could be looked at. It would make what money we have go farther if half of that trail work gets paid for under this grant.
Yeah,
Well, Alan, maybe you and Kathy should talk and see where it is and get it. And what you need is to get a cost estimate and what it'd be to improve that trail and make it handicap accessible.
If you truly classify it as handicap, and I have a friend that's a professional trail builder, he says once you do that, you really up the cost. It's sort of like the hat that one size fits most instead of one size fits all. So if you take that approach, that the trail is good for most people, so it's maybe not quite handicap. I don't know.
Well, what does the grant say? Does the grant say handicap or does it not?
No, and I was going to add this. The very, very first thing you need to look at is these are alternative transportation trails that they are funding.
Correct.
So if you can drive your car to the ponds, but if there was a way to walk there, that is an alternative transportation trail. It seems to me, and I could be wrong, that going from the parking lot to the kiosk is not an alternative transportation trail. That's the problem. That's the problem with that. And it's a very specific grant. It isn't just a grant for a trail.
But the kiosk would be at the parking area. But I'm talking about going from the parking area to where the old fireplace is,
Yeah.
and where Bob, what's his name, built the picnic table that's there. Bob Hall.
Rob Hall.
Right. That's the section I'm talking about.
Well, listen. If that's what you want to do, and you can put the numbers together, make the grant. If you get it, you get it. If they turn you down, they turn you down. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And try to fudge it or tell them that it's a alternative way or something. I don't know. Chris, you had something before you wanted to say.
No,
something.
I was just going to let Kathy know if she wants to include a planner. I'm available. She can reach out to me.
So I don't know, Alan, maybe you want to touch base with Chris and see if something makes sense. I don't know how much time you have or how much you want to get involved.
I'm just thinking when it's all covered up with snow, it's a little bit more challenging. I think the time frame may be too tight. But I can find out if it's just a one-shot deal or if it's going to be again next year, and we could get better prepared for it.
Yeah, and if that's the case, we can put it on our long-range planning calendar as well, on the planning commission.
Generally speaking,
probably a
these
more
alternative
realistic
transportation
approach.
grants are available every year.
Well, then maybe that's the way to go. So maybe somebody could do a little research and see if it is something we can go for next year. Then it gives us plenty of time to do the planning. And like Alan said, it's pretty difficult to follow your trails when you have snow on the ground.
And maybe we could get a committee going on it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, any other discussion? Do we have any other business? If not, do we have any public comment? No? Okay. So the date of the next meeting, February 15th at 6 p.m. via Microsoft Teams. I'd just like to welcome Sue Allen as a new member. And,
Thank you, Joe.
And thank you for everybody participating, and thank you, Chris. Have a good week, and stay safe. And so we know how vulnerable these things can be, and we see it with our own Kim. So just stay safe.
All right, thank you, Joe.
All right, and we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Not all in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, have a good week. Stay safe. Thank you for participating.